Hi, I'm Scott for ediblemusic.com. If you're working on a song with drums in them, then those drums are going to be a very important part of the mix. They provide the propulsion, the groove, they're the rhythm section, so you want to be able to hear and feel them throughout the whole song. And you might be able to get a good drum balance during quieter parts of the song, like the intro or the verse. But then once you get to the chorus or a louder part of the song like the bridge or the outro, a problem that you might have is that you lose the drums and you lose that propulsion and you stop being able to feel and hear them. One solution to this that you should try is parallel compression on your kick and your snare drum. I'll show you how to do that now. You can hear in this song, it sounds pretty good so far. This is the verse, but then you'll notice once the chorus happens, we kind of lose them. So the problem that we want to solve is to be able to still hear the kick and the snare and have them continue to propel the song. And the way that we are going to do that is with parallel compression. So I've sent the kick and the snare to a return channel, a return or a send or an aux channel, and I'm just going to use the Waves 1176 compressor. There are so many 1176 emulations out there. The reason why they're good for parallel compression is because they have a very fast attack and they have a very fast release. Even on the slowest settings, these compressors work very quickly. So I'm going to use the Waves one, but use whichever one you want. Even just use the default compressor that you might have in your workstation, okay? I'm going to set the ratio to all, which is a very high ratio. A really fast attack. We'll set the release to the fastest as well. And you're going to compress a lot on this. And if you want, you can slow the release down to find the groove that you like. This is compressing a lot. It's taking advantage of the function of compressors, which is to reduce the dynamic range. So here we're squashing everything so that it's solid throughout. And that allows the original channels, the original kick and snare channels, to perform the transient information, that snappy, poppy information that happens when the stick hits the snare or when the beater hits the kick drum. We're going to allow the original channels to do that, and this is going to support them by adding more solidity to the drums overall. But you don't want to stop there either. There's a lot of control that you can have over your parallel compression by performing some EQ heading into it. So on this return channel, I've added an EQ. High pass as well to pull out those hi-hats. Okay, those are pretty drastic EQ moves, but I'm purposefully trying to shape exactly how I want the kick and snare to feed into the parallel compression. Here it is without the EQ. Lots of pumping there. Okay, so you can change a lot of how the parallel compression sounds using EQ. It's okay to be drastic and cut out parts that don't actually help the solidity of the kick and snare. Let's hear how it sounds with the kick and snare parallel compression added to it. We'll come back in the verse here, and remember, it sounded pretty good during the verse. The problem arose during the chorus, so we'll bring up the parallel compression there. Try to focus your ears just on the presence of the kick and snare within the rest of the mix. I think you'll notice a difference. I'll start bringing it up now. So you've compressed the drums a lot and tone shaped them using EQ. The thing to remember about parallel compression is that it's meant to solve a problem, and as you notice during the verses, that problem wasn't really there. So what you would want to do in instances like that is to automate either turning off that channel or just turning it down during the quieter parts so that the drums can maybe sit back with the arrangement. And then when the arrangement builds up, the drums can press forward again using the parallel compression by turning it up. There's a lot of control that you can have over parallel compression. These are some good ways to do it, to get it to compress a lot, to perform that solidity that you need it to, but also to shape it and get it sounding how you'd like it to sound. Parallel compression is intended to support the kick and snare channels, not to overpower them. So that's why I recommend to be mindful about when you add level to it and when you take level away. Think about the song in sections. Think about whether you need to solve a problem using parallel compression and what it would add to it if you do need it. Give it a shot and have fun.